Bird of Prey 5. Hail Karuga! Kapla! Kapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird of Prey 5 channel. Hail Karuga.
It helps if I push the button to start the show. Hello world, it's Bird of Prey 5, Kapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Monday, August 7th, 2023. And I thought after the beautiful Nicole DeBoer came on screen, that like she would somehow start everything and I could just sit back and talk, forgetting the fact that no, this is a one-man production and I actually have to press something after Nicole finishes speaking to put my voice on the stream. Now I did that. Yay. 47 Yorktown, yes. 47 Yorktown, you were indeed first today. Kapla, 47 Yorktown. Richie Poole, a close second with 2 alpacas. Welcome, Richie Poole. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies says Kapla from your friendly neighborhood groovy movie guy and snooker grandmaster. Congrats to Mr. Londell for defeating LDG at snooker. Not that LDG had ever defeated Mr. Londell before, but you know. Jedi Bill, Kapla, Jedi Bill. Jedi Bill says, Kapla, brother warrior, Bird of Prey 5, and hail Karuga. And hail to Jedi Bill. And Jedi Bill, I hope your computer gets fixed soon. I saw yesterday your computer was down for the count. It needed a new power supply. And until then, you are not sure when you'll be able to stream. But I am happy you can at least see others and visit other people's streams. I do hope you get your computer fixed as quickly as you can and you'll be able to stream again. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette, who was talking in the underground a few minutes ago about her licensed or unlicensed dental, well, Now, let's just say if you need a dentist, but don't have a dentist, but a vet is around, the vet might be able to be your next best thing to a licensed dentist. And it's not only that she'll work on other people, she can do it to herself as well. John DeMarco says, greetings all. Greetings, John. Dan Ben is here. Welcome, Dan Ben. And says, Bird, did you see the Star Trek Prodigy Season 2, Episode 1 clip? I did not. I did not, Dan Ben. Sorry. I wasn't really in a Prodigy mood. I didn't go looking for those clips. You might have sent one to me. If you did, I didn't watch it yet. 47 Yorktown says, hello.
Indications negative at this time.
Hello, young sir. Hello, 47. And Yvette with a $2 super chat, £2 sterling super chat says, fingers crossed for Kissing Dax for you all. But in fact, it was eyebrow Dax. At least it was a Dax. At least it was a Dax. Bradley Briggs says, yup, zup, y'all. Zup, Bradley. And Sean PRK, formerly Moxley, says, rest in peace, Paul Rubens, a.k.a. I say this, a.k.a. Pee Wee Herman. He died last week, didn't he? I think I spoke about it. I did. I mean, we can still rest in peace to the man. He, a big part of many of our childhoods. Pee-wee's Playhouse, the Pee Wee Herman movies. They were definitely a big part of my childhood, my elementary school days. Okay, I still remember.
Indications negative at this time.
I still remember. And Jedi Bill with $1.50 super chat. Jedi Bill, you don't need to be sending super chat when you need money for your own computer. But thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jedi Bill. I appreciate it. And another eyebrow Dax. Elementary school. I remember in elementary school telling the large Marge ghost stories to my friends in the lunchroom. Now, understand, in elementary school, I almost never went into the lunchroom. Mom O'Prey would pick me up and I would go home for lunch nearly every day. Nearly every day, I would go home to eat lunch because A, I liked going home. I generally hated going to the lunchroom with the rest of the class because the whole school would go, the whole, every class, I was in a gifted class. I don't know how to put this, but I couldn't take the stupid people. They made my life miserable. Now, granted, there were a few years where they did not yet recognize my intellectual greatness, and I was just in a normal class. And those were the bad years. First grade, second grade, awful, awful times. It wasn't until the third grade, between the second and third grade, that Mom O'Prey and Dad O'Prey, the school insisted that they take me out of the normal classrooms because the school thought I was a discipline problem. And the school thought I needed to be put in the remedial class. The remedial class. They said, oh, this kid, Bird O'Prey 5, he needs remedial work. He's always saying the teachers are stupid and that the teachers are the problem. And clearly he needs extra attention and he needs to be taken out of the normal classes and put in with the problem children. And Mom O'Prey and Dad O'Prey were disappointed, but if that was the help I needed, they were willing to do that. So they said, okay, let's go get him professionally tested and to see exactly what's wrong with him. And, you know, we'll do the best for their poor little bird. And so they had me tested, and the test came back that I don't belong in the remedial class. I don't belong with the problem children. The problem wasn't with me. The problem was with them, the system. And they said, now, it's not that IQ is something that you should, you know, ever take a number and like it ends there, because it doesn't. It's not about IQ. But the number came back. And they all shut up. And all of a sudden, they're like, oh, I see. Oh, we're so sorry. Instead of putting me in the back of the remedial class, they put me at the front and center of the gifted class. And all of a sudden, I went from problem child to nerd. All of a sudden, I went from hating school to loving it. I went from this person who didn't want to go to school because it was miserable, because the teachers were miserable, my classmates were more miserable, I was being laughed at, I didn't want to be there, to the kid who couldn't get enough, who even when it was 6 foot of snow and all the fucking schools, even though the mayors at the time refused to close the school and nobody was going to school, I still went. I still went. To the point that when it was time to pick a car, I drove a Jeep so that I could still make it to school in the snow. And that was not, Sis O'Prey was not happy. Sis O'Prey and her friends were not happy that her brother was the one idiot driving to school during the blizzards. Even though the teachers couldn't make it in, I could make it in, which meant Sis O'Prey could make it in, which meant Sis O'Prey's unfortunate friends who were friends with her, their parents knew that she had the crazy brother who could still make it to school. And I know that there's at least one of her friends who is angry at me still for having to go to school with me on a day when everybody else was staying home. Anyway, that person, I still remember elementary school. So where were we? Oh, because I would almost never go to the lunchroom in elementary school. But when I did, it was a treat, because the one thing they did sell in the elementary, and sell, mind you, they didn't give it away. You had to pay for it. They sold hot pretzels in the lunchroom. And like somebody would come around after the kids would get their lunches, the kids who would get lunch from the school. A lot of kids would bring in lunch from home in those days. You know, we all have our lunch boxes. I would have had Transformers, Optimus Prime, or probably Dinobot lunchbox. And at the end of lunch, I would stand on my lunchbox. Granted, I had yet to. Okay, so in elementary school, I was not quite the tallest kid yet. It took a couple more years before I hit my growth spurt. So I could still benefit from a few extra inches. So I would stand on my plastic lunchbox, mind you, on the floor, and it would give me just a couple extra inches so I could see where the adults selling the hot pretzels were as they walked around the lunchroom. It was almost like at a baseball game, and you're like, hey, you know, you want a hot dog, and you want your pretzel. So I wanted my goddamn pretzel, and they'd come and I'd get my pretzel, and I would tell my story about Large Marge, and I would have some social interaction in elementary school. And that was basically the biggest thing I remember about elementary school was my lunchroom tales. And Todd T. Berg, Sci-Fi Tech, with a $5 super chat, Canadian, says, good to hear your propaganda online, good sir. 2 photos in Steam Friends for you to see. No Dear Bop attachments. Okay, thank you, Todd. I will check Steam. Do I have Steam open? I will check Steam. And you got, it's a fake. It's a fake. Hakeem says my elementary school would sell pretzels and butter cookies. My elementary school, only pretzels. In junior high or intermediate school, technically, they sold ice cream. They sold like little, what I would think today would be Carvel ice cream cups, like soft serve, but frozen ice cream sundaes, which were delicious. And even though, you know, they didn't even get a spoon, you got the quote unquote wood spoon, which was no spoon at all. It was just a flat piece of wood, like a shaped half length, like almost like the wood from a frozen pop, but not quite as long, but wider and flatter. You could just kind of, you know, Dixie cups, is that what they were? Mom will probably say they were called Dixie cups. Maybe, but yeah, it was, those were decent. Those were decent. Elementary school, so many things. Elementary school, I remember. I from first grade to 5th. First grade. Now, first grade wasn't too bad because I had a really good teacher. Plus, I don't know. I was still getting used to not understanding why I didn't quite belong. Second grade was god awful. Terrible teacher. Terrible teacher. I mean, it's not just that. There was this kid who would always have a fucking hole in his pants, and he never fucking wore underwear. And it was like, I didn't want to see it, but it was like you couldn't help it. He would fucking bend over or shit. Like, and like, God, man, why does he have a fucking hole in your pants? Every pair, maybe he only had one pair of pants. You know, I wouldn't have noticed. I just noticed that he had the same fucking hole in all his pants, and it was disturbing. Plus, he used to fucking cheat off me.
Oh, wow. I
almost punched his mother at the end of the year. Oh, you must be so-and-so's mom. I always know when he's in because my son gets a good grade on his tests. Jedi Bill. Jedi Bill with a 29-month friend of Karoga super chat. Thank you so much, Jedi Bill. Says, you are the best part of Mondays and Fridays. Love the Birdo Frey 5 family and Mamo Frey. Number one. Thank you so much, Jedi Bill. And Mamo Frey says thank you. And Carlo calls me a cheater. No, I wasn't a cheater. Okay, little Johnny. Little Johnny was the fucking cheater. Mamo Frey knows his name, and she's almost ready to say it.
Wow.
We'll call him Little Johnny. Little Johnny. Okay.
I still get angry.
Mamo Frey.
I still get angry thinking of it. The end of the term, this woman walks over to me and says, I want to thank you. Okay, I'll say Little Johnny, but that's not his name. Would not have passed. He would have been left back if he didn't sit next to your son. He can't add 1 and 1. I almost, and I never hit anybody. I almost hit this woman. And I think if she walked past the house today, I might still go out and hit her. How do you teach a second grader to cheat?
That's the problem.
Condone it.
That was the problem. That was the society was breaking down at that point.
Hi, guys. I'm going back to reading.
Society had already begun breaking down. Parents were teaching their kids to cheat rather than to pass the tests. And Sean PRK says, I don't doubt it. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. We the people. And hello, you all. Welcome again, Sean. And Mr. Londell says, E pleb nista. E pleb nista. Yes. The Omega Glory. Sean says, Kapla Bird, hope you and the family are doing well today. Well, we are doing. Mercer creates, Kapla Mercer. Says, hello, Bird. Hakeem says, hey, Bird, and chat, Kapla, guys. Mike Richards, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Have you seen my package? No, you haven't, because I'm not fucking little hole in the pants Johnny. Dan Van says, no, I didn't send the clip. I did think of sending a picture of Robert Picardo, but no, I saw the clip on the Star Trek website. Okay, I'll check it out when I can. Thank you, Dan Van. T-Berg says, Kapla Bird, Alpacans assemble. New avatar, new nickname, new channel banner. Play never gets old. Very cool, T-Berg. Todd T-Berg. Todd T-Berg, Sci-Fi Tech. New name, new nickname. Check out Todd T-Berg, Sci-Fi Tech. And I have to add him as a moderator. You are now a moderator, Todd T. Berg, Sci-Fi Tech. So feel free to put in the link to the new channel. The Random Menace, Kapla Random Menace, hashtag more cats for Yosef, says, greetings from the future, watching while being torn into pieces by Spot. Spot is Yosef's latest addition to the Yosef clan, and of course there's a human edition coming very soon, like really soon, like they're building him now. They're building it now, soon, almost as quickly as the train is coming. But Spot jumped in there at the end. Hashtag more cats for Yosef. Todd T. Berg says, Funny, I was in gifted classes too. Normal school was too boring. Oh yeah, absolutely. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello, Kapla, Captain. Sean PRK says, Large Marge was my favorite. Tell him Large Marge sent you. Indeed. And Todd says, rolling on the floor laughing, a discipline problem. Carlo Albanese is now calling me a nerd. Todd says, my mom was a school teacher. I had no choice. Todd says, hard to be a nerd. Ignored? Is that hard to be ignored or hard to be a nerd? The Random Menace says, hello, fellow intelligent human. John DeMarco says, there's a fascinating Jeep origin story. Yep, that is why I had a Jeep. Carlo Albanese says, boredom can be seen as many different things. Carlo says, who took the lunch money? The school. The school would take the lunch money. No one else was going to take the lunch money from me. Fuck that. Okay, I was beat up. I was attacked. I was pinched. I was assaulted. I had many insults thrown my way, but I was never robbed. I was never robbed of money. Robbed of dignity, perhaps, but not money. Not in school. Hakeem says, my elementary school would sell pretzels and butter cookies. I read that. Still sounds delicious. Darren Ben says, I didn't like school dinners. They kept serving baked beans, so I packed lunch. Okay, I was okay when they had hamburgers or they had pizza, and of course if they had tater tots, but that was really it. I'll be honest, the school hamburgers, they were like the worst hamburgers, but they were still edible. I mean, McDonald's was a far better hamburger than anything the school ever came up with. T-Berg says, well, yeah, it is a fake. Dan Ben says, I never had hot pretzels before turning small pretzels in a packet. A paddle spoon. Yes, that's what it was, Carlo Albanese. A paddle spoon, which is neither a paddle nor a spoon. Forza Jersey gifted a friend of Karoga membership. Forza Jersey, thank you so much. Forza. Do we have Dan Ben?
Indications negative.
Dan Ben was the recipient. Thank you, Forza Jersey. Dan Ben has become a member thanks to Forza Jersey. And then Forza Jersey with $1 super chat. Thank you so much, Forza. T-Berg says, as a gifted learner, I took a school trip to New York City in 1986. First class to leave the country from our school district in Canada. Oh, very cool. I did not go on the school trip to Canada, but that wasn't until high school. And by high school, I had pretty much nothing left in common with my fellow students.
Well, you went to Italy.
I did go to Italy, yes. But yeah. That was true. That was a good trip. I mean, that was a trip. We'll put it, it was its own thing. I did almost buy a piece of furniture, a very expensive piece of furniture. And the only reason I didn't was because I couldn't contact Mom O'Prey or Dad O'Prey. And it wasn't until I got home I found out why I couldn't reach them, because they decided to blow me off. God, who knew what emergency I might have needed. I couldn't get in contact with them. Okay, this was before cell phones, you know. And they decided to go to Atlantic City. They decided to go to Atlantic City and gamble when their only son on the other side of the world was trying to call them, desperate to reach them, to get permission to buy a gambling table. It was a roulette wheel. It turned into all different types of casino games. It was a beautiful, custom-built, $1,000 plus table. And I knew like it would be perfect for my family, because I mean, Dad O'Prey, Mom O'Prey, they loved gambling already. And I've spoken about how Dad O'Prey had a perchance to, you know, gambling games of less than legal stature. So, you know, I thought it would be good. I thought it'd be a good match. It was a beautiful table. Granted, in hindsight, it's probably better I didn't get it, but if I had known they were in Atlantic City, I sure as hell would have bought it. I had a credit card. Grant you, the only way I had a credit card was due to Mom O'Prey's stepmom, because had to kind of sidestep the banks to get me a credit card in case of an emergency, just in case of an emergency. And apparently, even me at the time knew that this did not constitute an emergency as much as I might have wanted it to. Huh? Elaine. It was her credit card. Do you not remember? Elaine got me the credit card. And it was her credit card. She put my name. It was an extra card on her account. Well, I remember. It was very nice, considering we did not always have the best relationship, me and her. It didn't, but you were asked her very nicely, because at the time we could not get a credit card. Right. So the family credit report, you know, was not so great at the time. So you call up and you want a credit card for your 14-year-old? Yeah, hold on a minute. Dan Ben, I said, had never had the hot pretzels. Paddle spoon, gifted learner, cheater. Carlos says, I only said cheater. It's saying something that you instantly thought I was calling you a cheater. Fair enough. Fair enough. And Carlo puts in a Mom O'Prey and a hug. Todd T. Berg says, we the sheeple. Dr. Alex says, Kapla, Bert O'Prey, Kapla, Dr. Alex. Dan Ben says, this is the type of ice cream at school when I was a kid. And unfortunately, I can't really click that link, but very cool if anybody wants to check it out. Jedi Bill says hail to Carlo. T. Berg says hey to Carlo. Carlo says how to win in your job: cheat, take all the credit, and never say sorry. I don't know that I can. I don't know that I can agree with that. Dan Ben says, yeah, you can only post web links in a live chat if you're a moderator. T. Berg says, a moderator, the fire department is calling me an accelerant. You are welcome, T. Berg. The Random Menace says, in about 10 days. Dun, dun, dun. 10 days. Could be sooner. Could be later. Scary. It's scary. Dan Ben got bullied in school also. Not fun. No, it is not. Ms. Londell says the pizza had to be the worst, but as kids, we loved it to death. The French bread pizza. I honestly think the hamburger was probably worse. The meat, I don't know. I really question, considering that McDonald's burgers tasted so much better. I don't know. T-Berg says $1. Dr. Alex says, did my Qapla' not come through? It did, Dr. Alex. I was just so far behind. But I did say it. Forza Jersey says, Dan Ben, you're welcome. Enjoy, buddy. Thank you so much. Words and Pictures says, good to be here. Good to hear you. And some eagles. Thank you, Words and Pictures. T. Berg says, Karoga Man, no way home. Dr. Alex says, Atlantic City, say no more, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yeah. Mama Pray. We used to go, Ciso Pray and I, we many a times went to Atlantic City with Mama Pray and Dad Pray. It was one of the, we would go to the, it used to be the Tropicana, then became Trop World. It was the big part of that hotel casino was that it had an indoor amusement park for kids. It had this whole big indoor amusement park for, kids, like Ferris wheels, bumper cars, rides, but a whole lot of games like skee ball and, the crane games. I used to be so good with the fucking crane games. I would just empty the whole fucking machine. Like, I don't know. I guess they figured that they were making money, but we'd go, and over the weekend, I'd get like 15 to 20 little stuffed animals. Granted, I didn't like them, but I gave them to Ciso Pray. She seemed to like them. Or I would get, so many tickets. There was the time I got the fucking Star Trek Enterprise, the Enterprise phone. It was the original, no bloody A, B, C, or D. And it was a fucking phone, not a cell phone, a landline phone. And all the numbers were around in the digits, the bottom of the saucer section. And you'd pick it up, and the saucer section had all the numbers, and it was the earpiece. And the microphone would be at like where the shuttle bay was. The microphone was where the shuttle bay was. But the nacelles, they would stay on the carrier. So the the primary hull and like most of the secondary hull would come off and be in your mouth or be in your hand, and would be, you know, you talk and you would hang it back up. And actually, I think now I'm thinking the digits were on the base pad. They were on the base pad. Anyway, it was my phone. I bought it. I got like whatever I needed, like 20,000 tickets or whatever. I mean, let's figure. This phone probably retailed for $30. I'm sure it probably cost me $75 to $100 in game tickets to get it. But I was so happy, and it was my phone for years. For years, it was my phone until one of my sister's friends fucking was doing cartwheels, and broke my fucking phone. But, I mean, it was a chick doing cartwheels in my bedroom. So, while I certainly made it seem like I was very angry that she broke my phone, on another level, I wasn't all that angry because there was a chick doing cartwheels in my bedroom. Didn't mean anything, but it did in a way. Words and Pictures with a 10-pound sterling super chat says, yet another great tale. You are so good at this. Thank you, Words and Pictures. I appreciate that. I am still surprised anybody cares, but yeah. All right. And we got Kissing Dax. There it is, Words and Pictures with the 10-pound sterling got Kissing Dax. Thank you so much. What did you say, Mama Frey? Oh. Mama Frey says, we heard a loud noise. It's okay. She knocked over a chair, but it's okay. Words and Pictures says, Atlantic City seems like a good idea, but what do I know? It is. I mean, it was a good idea, Atlantic City. It was a fun time. You know, Ciso Prey and I would be playing, you know, we'd be on our own. We would be on our own. And that was, to think of it today, we're not on our own even as adults. We wouldn't be on our own because, you know, we didn't have cell phones. Nobody had cell phones. I mean, not that nobody, but Mom O'Prey and Dad O'Prey had pagers. Sis O'Prey and I had nothing. We knew in the hotel that we could pick up the white phone and call the operator, and the operator would page our parents. But we also knew that if either one of them was doing good in the casino, they were not listening. They were not listening.
We couldn't hear.
They could, yeah. Mama Frey says we couldn't hear. You know, they in the rest of the hotel, the public of the hotel, you could hear the intercom. But in the casino, they don't want people leaving the tables. They don't want people leaving the machines. So, you know, the speakers weren't all that loud. So we knew, you know, at best, it was 50-50 if we were going to get a hold of Mom O'Prey or Dad O'Prey. So you learned to do things on your own. Now, we had a key to the room. We knew how to get up to the room if we really needed to. But that was it. I mean, you know, you got into trouble. You got into trouble once in a while. That was like we'd come across other kids who were with their parents, and their parents were like, fuck you. They're like, don't even call us. At least Mom O'Prey and Dad O'Prey were like, if you really need us, If you really need us, call us. Intercom, have them intercom us. Whereas the other kid parents are like, I don't want to hear from you until dinner time. And so, that was the one where the kid had the fucking, like, I don't know, not Playboy, but something 10 times more risque than Playboy. And I was just trying to fucking get away from him. And we'd ride the fucking elevators up and down. I was scared of elevators to this day. I remain scared of elevators. But as a kid, you had nothing else to do. So fine, just ride the elevators up and down. The adults were kind of weirded out by these kids being in the elevators all alone, going to like the fucking 30th floor and then going back down again. Anyway, this kid was chasing me. Like I wanted to get fucking away from him. And so I made it in an elevator and the door was closing. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get away. And the son of a bitch throws the fucking magazine through the door and it lands at my foot. And the door closes and I'm in the fucking elevator with like two adults. And this nudie magazine was thrown at me. And I'm like doing my best to avoid it, looking at it. Like, oh my God, how immature that person was. But good times. Good times. Good times in Trop World. And then they took it away. They took away Trop World. They took away the kids section. They went back to just the casino for adults. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, will this effing thing let me put a chat in yet? There you got, Gorilla, you got a chat. T-Berg says, I had traveler's checks. Oh my God, yes. Traveler's checks. Those were a thing. Those were a thing. Gorilla says, oh, there goes Kapla bird. Kapla gorilla. Traveler's checks. Yeah. Okay, so Mama Prey found a money belt. I was wearing it under my clothes. I had my extra money and my passport. It was very interesting. Carl Albanese says, the good old days where you could go away and nobody could get in contact with you. Now that random stranger on the table next to you gets a call for you. Damn it, Jim. Feed me up. Yeah. And let's see. And it jumped. It jumped. In about 10 days. Yes, I read that. Good to hear you. T-Berg says, Bird wanted to be the house, the dealer. Rake it all in. Lol, absolutely. T-Berg says, you're in trouble now, Bird. Don't forget the photos. Oh, don't forget the photos. Let me bring up Steam. Let me bring up Steam. Okay. Steam. Steam was closed. View all. You have no notifications at this time. View news on Steam. View my profile. Community friends. T-Berg, unread messages. Uh-huh. I see. Uh, okay. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? Okay. Let's do it this way. So this is from T-Berg. He apparently decided to do some face editing. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, T-Berg. Play never gets old. Todd T-Berg, Sci-Fi Tech. There you go. Check out his new channel. And I'd like to say that you'll never see this on his channel, but I can't promise. I can't promise what will or will not be there. It's a fake. Matt G, thank you so much, Matt G, with $1 super chat. I gotta bring the screen back up. Thank you so much, Matt G. Gorilla says, oh, there it goes. Kapla bird. Kapla. T-Berg says, Turtistani's cheat. Karogan's scheme. Dr. Alex says, aha, there's the Kapla. Indeed. Indeed. Carlo Albanese. Hail, Karoga. Thank you, Carlo. T-Berg says, Tendi, lower decks. No. Gorilla says, my school allowed us to whoop the kid's ass when I went. I mean, the school didn't really stop anybody from whooping people's asses, which was okay because by junior high, well, by the end of junior high, I had decided it was time to whoop ass. But at the start of junior high, I was very much getting my ass whooped. It was not a good time. Dado Prey was not happy. He was yelling at the schools, saying, "Was he going to have to go to the news and hire private security and send his kid to school with a private security guard?" And like, I didn't really want to be that kid, but Dado Prey, I also didn't want to be the kid who was getting their ass kicked, but I really didn't want to be the kid whose daddy had to send him to school with a private security guard. Gorilla says, my school allowed us, to whoop the kid's ass. Famous Bear says, hello, bird people, just joining now, so mind if I rehatch something. Har, har, har. You are welcome to rehatch, Famous Bearer. Pleasant Valley Picker, Canada, kapla, kapla. T-Berg says, bird, in another universe, you would have become Mr. Robot and taken down your system with your sidekick, LDG. Maybe, T-Berg, maybe. Words and Pictures says, whoa. Matt G, kapla, Matt G. Antidote Jill, hello, Antidote Jill. Jedi Bills is great to see you, Words and Pictures. Antidote Jill is listening and driving. So definitely, please drive safely. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, I pissed off the Indians a couple of weeks ago when we went to Treasure Island because I walked out $50 up. And as I walked out, I told them they saved me a lot of money by making me go outside to smoke. Very cool, I guess. No smoking, I guess. The Indians don't allow smoking in the hotels, in the casinos. Todd T-Berg says a real room key. Well, I mean, granted, even in those days, it wasn't a metal room key. It was a card with a plastic card, like a credit card with a magnetic stripe. Not a real key. Even by the 90s, they were using magnetic swipe. At least at that hotel. T-Berg says Atlantic City orphans. Carlos says, I remember my first enterprise. It had an emergency saucer separation, and the secondary hull was lost to space. Never could find it again. I cried for days. I was 6, I think. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Carlo. Todd says, elevator go up, elevator go down. What is an elevator? Asked Carlo. Oh, a lift. Yeah. It's a lift. A lift on this side of the pond. Matt G says, hello all. And he says, Jill. Welcome, Matt G. Words and Pictures is Carlo. It's like a lift, but less efficient. Todd says, took away Trop World and gave you Trump World. Trump's casinos were already there. Trump's casinos were there and they looked exquisite. They were beautiful. We'd pass them on the boardwalk and they looked like they literally looked like they were made of gold. The Random Menace says, what's this strange concept of extra money? I'm married. Please explain. Back in the olden days, occasionally you might find extra money. It's not something that happens anymore. But, in the olden days, it happened from time to time. T-Berg says, Friends Messenger. That's where it was. Carl Albanese says, Dear Bop, why is it called an elevator? Does it only go up? Well, why would it be called a lift? Does it only go up? T-Berg says, save the flies. Save the files. Save the files. What?
All right.
Addy goes places, gets Kissing Dax and his 2,500 CLPs. I don't know, Colombian peso? Chilean. He says, I was in Chilean jail until I told the judge I was friends with Joe, and then they let me out, even bought me a luxury hotel room. Thanks, Joe. You are so welcome, Addie. Yes, Chile is one of the many nations which holds Quiroga in high esteem. So just anytime you're in South America, tell them that you are Quirogan diplomat, and they will release you from prison. I mean, for just about anything. Just about anything. Certainly any crime you're likely to find yourself, but not, don't try to take down the government, but anything short of that, they should let you go. They should let you go. I hope you're doing well, Addie. I hope you're doing well. T-Berg has told you it was a fake. Carlos says that was good timing. LDG says long distance gamer, asked Carlo. Maybe. T-Berg says, my dad told me to stand up for myself. I had my head put through a window at the end of the locker bay. Luckily, I was on the first floor, and the passing polar bear didn't eat my head. What? Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, yeah, they made it smoke-free after the coof. Ah, sorry to hear that, Gorilla. Addie Goes Places again. Thank you, Addie. 2,500 Chilean pesos. I'm rich. Carlos says, lift you up, lift you down. I'll give you a lift, Brown Town. Todd says, wow, it just got chilly in here. Har, har, har. And Forza Jersey says, too bad. It's just $2.91 in US dollars. 2,500 anything. Sounds impressive. Son of a bitch, Forza. I could have believed that was $2,500. And now you poked the balloon. Actually, YouTube put it green, so I knew it was somewhere north of $2, but less than $10. I knew it was less than $10 US, because if it was greater than $10 US, it would have been yellow or red or orange, but that green is from $2 to $10. Actually, maybe even 2 to 5. Dan Ben says, one birthday present as a kid was Chakotay Marquee Vessel. It was the first toy ship I got, and it had little figures. Not one I asked for. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. No. Addie Goes Places says, it's a ton of money. How dare you disrespect the great nation of Chile? I'm not disrespecting it. That could be a lot of money to a Chilean. Although Chile is a pretty strong economy. T-Berg says, Canadian humor. Americans assume we have polar bears everywhere. Well, I used to assume you had polar bears until polar bears became an endangered species. So I assume now that they're all dying because of, climate change. Dan Benz's one birthday present as a kid was Chakotay's Marquee Vessel. I read that. Dan Ben says yes, indeed. Oh, let's go on. Let's see what is going on today. What is today? About August 7th, holidays. We have 24 holidays. Civic Day, but not in the United States. Aged Care Employee Day. Aged care workers are there to assure you that the lives of your elders are in safe hands, not in the United States. British Columbia Day. All across Canada, the day is marked by parades, festivals, and other public gatherings. Happy British Columbia Day to all the Canadians, to T-Berg and all the other Canadians. T-Berg says, Bird has caught up here. And he says, yes, it's a holiday in Canada. It's Commerce Day. Commerce Day is a day to rest, leave work, and relax on this public holiday. Not here, it's not. And that's not American money. Festival Monday. Get your party hats and put on your dancing shoes. It's Festival Monday. Not here. It's Heritage Day in Alberta. That's another Canadian holiday. Sunshine, fresh air, and open spaces. Alberta is a melting pot of different cultures and ethnicities. And what the fuck is that? Like a video? Is that Frogger? Like, is that a screenshot from Frogger? I don't know. Is that a flag? That's a flag. It looks like a fucking 8-bit video game. It's Ivy Coast Independence Day. It's Caddo Mint Day. It's whatever. I'm not. It's Natal Day. What the fuck? What is Natal Day? Get ready to celebrate and attend a lot of outdoor parties and eat a ton of cake. National Lighthouse Day. Now that's a day I can get behind. We celebrate how these scenic historic structures comforted travelers throughout the centuries. National Raspberries and Cream Day. National Sea Serpent Day. Valentino Day. New Brunswick Day. What are all the Canadians have their holiday today? It's not often that a birthday party is held for an entire province. It seems like it's every day. New South Wales Bank Holiday. That's not Canada. That's Australia. Northern Territory Picnic Day. Northern Territory Aussies have been celebrating Picnic Day since the late 1800s. Is that when the first Australians came over and robbed the people having the first picnics? It's particularly preposterous Packaging Day. Particularly preposterous Packaging Day. Let's minimize unnecessary packaging and say no to plastic bags to reduce waste. Fuck you. I say no to paper straws. How about that? I say no to paper straws. I want my plastic straws back. I want my plastic straws back. Fuck you, Earth. Fuck you. Fucking planet wants to fucking take away my plastic straw. Gonna fucking pull a tree out of the ground just to fuck you. Then we'll be even. It's Professional Speakers Day. Get your mics ready to talk about the great information we have about professional speakers. It's Purple Heart Day. We remember and honor the men and women who bravely represented and sacrificed for their country. Papa, oh pray, my grandfather had the Purple Heart. He got shot in the Battle of the Bulge and famously got put in with the Germans, got picked up and brought to the German side of the hospital. And they're like, oh, you speak good English for a kraut. He's like, I'm not a fucking kraut. I'm from Brooklyn. Like, oh, yeah, you speak really good English. And then they showed him the dog tags. And they were like, I guess, get him away from these fucking krauts. Oh. Scary. It is scary. I would not have wanted to be there. Terry Fox Day. Honor a great man, a great foundation, and a great cause by celebrating Terry Fox Day. And finally, World Alternative Games. A day cannot get any more eccentric, thrilling, and fantastic than this. And it looks like a fucking guy on a industrial size slip and slide. That's what the World Alternative Days. Random Menace is in Croatia, in a restaurant. They served local beers. And yes, I ordered it and got a beer. Stupid typos. Oh, they ordered local bears. And yes, I ordered it and got a beer. Stupid typos. T-Berg says, Wheat River Foothills Mountains. That's what the picture that looks like Frogger is. Mr. Londell says, Alberta, where have you been so long? Dan Ben says, maybe you accidentally sent that website to show you holidays from other places. No, I can't set it. There's no option. Natal Day is in Quebec, says T-Berg. And Alexander is celebrating with his wife. Unfortunately, Alexander, his wife, has not yet been able to join him. And Alexander, if you're out there, if you're hearing this, I do apologize. You did come to me, ask me a question, and I started to talk to you, but then I ended up in the hospital, and I forgot all about it until just now. So I am sorry. If you're out there, hopefully see somebody else. Hopefully you found somebody else willing to help you. Dan Ben says, oh, I just ate a raspberry and cream truffle pot. Forza Jersey says, Canada likes to party. Words and Pictures with paper straws in plastic protection wrappers. Yeah. Why is my paper straw in a fucking plastic bag? And I gotta fucking take the paper straw out of a plastic container, and I have a shitty paper straw. T-Berg says, get a stainless steel telescopic one, Bird. Also good for shooting point darts at tortoise. I don't want a metal stainless steel. I want a disposable plastic straw. John DeMarco says, the bird rant in its natural habitat. T-Berg says, cough and Karogans, alpacans assemble. Forza says, amen. Matt G is given, is that a wave, a snail? I'm not sure what that is. And Forza misses plastic straws. T-Berg says, I'll meet you at the Legion, Bird. We have both lost the Battle of the Bulge. True. Forza says, paper straws suck. They don't suck enough. Todd says, Terry Fox ran across Canada to fundraise on one leg and a prosthesis for cancer. He succumbed to his disease on the road. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not know. Forza says, oh geez, wow. Dan Ben hates paper straws. And Aravik Sonder, Kapla Aravik Sonder, live long and prosper. Okay, guys, it's time for Wordle. So first one to give me a 5-letter word. We will start Wordle with the 5-letter word. First one to put it in. I see it in the chat. That's a Wordle word. Come on. Give me something good. Solid word. Something creative but quick because somebody else is going to put something in. Oh. Ouija. Ouija. Thank you, Gorilla. Ouij. I mean, I probably not going to have a J in it, but we will try it. Ouija. Ouija. All we got was an O. All we got was an O. Let's see. 4, this is nothing worse than a sad, soggy paper straw. Random Menace says, last time we went to McDonald's, we had to ask for a lid and a straw. T-Berg says public, and Miss Londell says bands. Well, the only letter we've got is an O, so I'll have to come up with another word. Tomb. T-O-M-B-S. Tombs. And I have an O and a B, but they're in the wrong spot. B-L-O-W-N. Blown. We got a B and an O in the right spot, but still. Okay. So what else? What could be between B and O? What letter could be between B and O? It can't be a second O. So we know it's not a second O. V, let's see. Broom, it could be. It could be an R. Could be 2 O's. It could be a K. Brook. Could be Brook. Let's try it. And it is. It's Brook. Excellent. Wordle in 4. Wordle in 4. Solid performance. Mike Richards says Ginker Farb is 5 letters. It's in its original Martian. Well, you know, Ginker Farb would have been my second choice. But thank you, Mike Richards. T-Berg says Shields, babbling, Avery. And Ms. Londell just solved it. Solid performance. Solid performance. Okay. Let's see. It's going in. Anything worth looking at in the news? Severe thunderstorm outbreak with hurricane force wind gusts underway in eastern U.S. Severe weather impacting states across the U.S. Looming storm shuts U.S. government offices, halts many airport departures. Wow, when did this become a crazy storm? Closing government offices. Migrant shelter for 2,000 men to be built starting as early as Monday on New York City's Randall's Island. Queens doctor charged with taping certain assaults on unconscious patients. Why would you tape it? Rats take over Queens Dollar Tree, riddled with poop. Don't worry about it. I don't know. It's just somewhere in Queens.
Go out. I don't shop at Dollar Tree.
PlayStation's answer to Starfield becomes bestseller on PS5. Uh-oh. Jeopardy season 40. Jeopardy season 40 will use repeat questions and contestants due to WGA strike and increase runner-up winnings. On Monday's episode of Jeopardy podcast Inside Jeopardy, showrunner Michael Davies clarified how the trivia series would proceed with its fall season amid the ongoing WGA strike and announced a sweetening of the pot for second and third place winners. I believe principally that it would not be fair to have new contestants making their first appearance on the Alex Trebek stage with non-original material. We're going to open the season with a second chance tournament for players from season 37 who lost their initial game. Winners from that will advance to a season 37 and season 38 champions wild card. Displayed questions asked of contestants in these second chance episodes will be a combination of material that our WGA writers wrote before the strike, which is still in the database, and material that has been redeployed from multiple seasons of the show. Celebrity Jeopardy, however, will feature completely original material. It was material spin-off second season was completed before the strike. A major announcement we can make today is that we are increasing the second and third place prize amounts by $1,000 each. Now, second place winners will receive $3,000 and third place winners will receive $2,000. Hey, John DeMarco, Professor Brainy Specs, I think you owe me some money. You owe me some money. The move was made in response to growing criticisms over the fact that runners-up must fund their own travel to participate in the show. The runners-up have to fund their own travel? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I thought everybody had to fund their own.
Nominal prices. She thought everybody had to fund their own travel. What's the deal? They can't even pay for fucking travel? We understand that post-COVID travel costs have increased. We understand how complicated funding a trip to Jeopardy is for many of the contestants within our community. And we think there's one way about time we did this. Yeah, you should have been doing that a long time ago. Now, I don't understand why you need writers to write questions. It seems to me that you could get any old trivia writer who don't have to be members of any particular union. T-Berg says scab contestants. Forza Jersey's got a tornado watch in New Jersey. Oh, man. In New Jersey. Keely Chow says, hey, everybody. What's going on? Hey, Keely. Hey, Keely. John DeMarco says, and when you be funding your own travel to collect these alleged winnings? Bert, I know somebody who could collect these winnings for me. I'll be right back. We'll be right back.
One Day at a Time has moved. The craziest cast of characters in some of their zaniest adventures ever now come to you in the morning at a brand new time. Anything goes, and it usually does. So be sure to watch us, because it all happens one day at a time. Now at 10 Eastern, 9 Central and Pacific.
Hello, I'm Charlie McKee for Electrolux. And this is an America that used to be. A time when companies brought vacuum cleaners to your home, because that's the best place to judge a vacuum. Today, few companies do that. But Electrolux still does, because your home is still the best place to see why Electrolux is better. So open your door to Electrolux. Electrolux, your home is the best place to see why we're better.
Okay, and we're back. And it is time for Dear Bob. Let's see. Dear Bob, can you guess what Frank Sinatra's song is by the lyrics? I practice every day. Yes, it's Something Stupid. I know it's Something Stupid by the first line. I practice every day to find some clever lines to say, to make the meaning come through. But then I think I'll wait until the evening gets late and I'm alone with you. The stars get red, the perfume fills my head, and the night's so blue, something like that. I wait until I say something stupid, like I love you. I love you. Yeah, Something Stupid. One of my all-time favorite Frank Sinatra songs. All times. There's a good woman behind each Sinatra song. So that wasn't a guess. I knew that. Dear Bob, what is your favorite state? Solid? I prefer to be a solid. Oh, do you mean State of the Union? Like your favorite state of the United States? Well, don't get me wrong. New York City is garbage, but the whole of New York State, it's an impressive state. But, upstate New York is beautiful. Upstate New York is wonderful. It's beautiful. And, but, I mean, living in New York, it gets a little old. So I'll be honest, my favorite state was Arizona. Arizona is my favorite state. Its natural beauty even surpasses that of New York. And it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. But from the deserts to the forests, to the Grand Canyon, to Sedona, I gotta say, I'd probably put Arizona. Now, also, California, crazy beautiful, ridiculously beautiful state. Hawaii, oh my God. Hawaii, a ridiculously beautiful state. And Alaska, which I had not seen in person, but I know is also a ridiculously beautiful state. There's so many states. So many states are such great beauty. But I would choose Arizona. Arizona or solid, whichever was more appropriate for the question. John DeMarco says, Bird is a solid supremacist. Dan Van likes that song. You never heard of this show, says Dan Van. Red Tornado Watch at Avengers Headquarters. Trivia Pursuit IQ 2000. I don't know what that is. I know I stand in line until you think you have the time to spend an evening with me, and then we'll go someplace to dance I know that there's a chance you won't be leaving with me. The time is right. Your perfume fills my head. The stars get red. I know the night's so blue, but then I think I'll wait until evening. Wait, I'm messing it up. Then I think I'll wait until I could maybe we'll sing it later. Dear Bob, when is the member stream? Oh, awesome. The member stream is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the second Tuesday of the month. The first Tuesday was the 1st. So tomorrow, the 8th, is the second Tuesday of the month. So be prepared, channel members, for a member stream at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. A open panel member stream at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and we'll see what happens from there. So thank you. Dear Bob, just a friendly reminder that someone in our little group of online friends was savagely beaten in a series of snooker matches. Many tried to warn him, but he persisted. Please inform him of his disastrous decision in challenging this individual in the future. Please help him and advise him to take lessons. So, yes, for those who do not know, LDG, formerly considered, a decent snooker player, I guess. Formerly considered a man. Now, not so much. He kept trying to get Mr. Lundell to play him in a snooker game, and when Mr. Lundell finally broke down and decided to play him, LDG collapsed. Mr. Lundell trounced him over and over and over again. Yvette was crying. She's like, let's make it stop. Let him die in peace. It was a massacre. So I'm told. I didn't see it in person, but this is what I hear. So guys, please send your best wishes to LDG, that he gets better soon, and that he take lessons before he beg someone to play him. Yes, Mama Pray.
I would say anyone would be a fool to bet against Mr. Lundell in anything. That's my opinion.
Solid opinion there, Mama Pray.
Okay.
T-Berg says, north to Alaska. We're going to Bedpan for gold. I don't think it's called Bedpan. Dan Ben says, does Hawaii have a high crime rate like Hawaii 5-0? I don't think there's a lot of crime. Dan Ben says, I prefer the Frank Sinatra one, but when I was younger, there was a cover version with the actress Nicole Kidman. Interesting. Dan Ben says, The Simpsons also have a version of Something Stupid with Kelsey Grammer as Sideshow Bob. Yes, they do. What is snooker? Asked Gorilla. Snooker, it's a game similar to billiards. It's played on a pool table. But it doesn't use the regular balls, the 8-ball balls that you're familiar with, solids and stripes. It uses a few balls, but a lot of red balls. It's like it's a different setup, but it uses the pool sticks, the billiards table. It's a different way of playing. Dear Bob, Trump is a piece of shit, but can anyone tell me how what he did to dispute the results of the 2020 election is any different than what Al Gore did disputing the 2000 election? Yeah, I don't exactly know what he did that is any different than just free speech. I mean, since when is it illegal to think that you didn't get a fair shot? Since when is it illegal to not agree that you lost? I mean, he didn't use the military to stop himself from leaving the White House, right? He left the White House when he had to. So what the fuck is the big deal? To say that he doesn't have to believe it as long as he left. That's all he had to do. He turned over power peacefully. Anything else he says is, to me, free speech. If you want to call him a piece of shit for it, that's your business. I don't believe he's a piece of shit, but I'm not going to fight you over it because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Dear Bob, I'd rather watch a marathon. No. LDG with a $2 super chat says Snooker Wars, LDG Strikes Back, coming soon. All right. And you got Kissing Dax. So well done, LDG. And Forza Jersey says MAGA. Indeed. Dan Van says yes, snooker, similar to pool. T. Berg says all I had to do was hand top secret. All he had to do was hand back all the top secret documents like all the other presidents. That was not the question. This was about the 2020 election. The top secret documents is a separate issue. It's a separate issue. Anyway, whatever. So that is that. That is the Dear Bops. So thank you guys. Again, reminder, tomorrow will be the members only stream. If you are a channel member, try to be about 4 p.m. Eastern. And I hope to see you guys. There. It'll be kind of an open panel. So if you'd like to talk, if you'd like to come up on the panel, I'd be happy to hear you, to see you. If you just want to hang out in the chat, you can do that too. And we got one more Dear Bob. And they say, I don't think Trump is a POS for disputing the results of the election. I think there's many reasons why. Well, that's fine. You can believe all those reasons you want. I would disagree, but that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of free speech. You are welcome to your opinions, and I am welcome to mine. And I am not going to say that you should be silenced for yours, and I assume you are not going to beg that I be silenced for mine. Forza says, I love Trump, but he loves kicking a hornet's nest. Often too far. I agree. He does like kicking the hornet's nest. Todd says all he had to do was hand back, yes, the secret documents. Okay, well, guys, with that then, I think we'll call it an evening. Thank you for hanging out. See you guys tomorrow for the member stream, and we'll see where we go from there. Kapla all, bird out.
Howdy YouTube, this here is Birdo Prey 5, and I've got an original song for you today. It's called The Ode to the Unknown Subscriber, and it was written by me. One sad morning. It goes a little bit like this. I woke up this morning and opened my channel. Every day is a battle, every sub more important than branded cattle. But this morning when I checked my stats, I was shocked, I was saddened, I was surrounded by bats. A YouTuber lives and dies by his numbers, always editing, always avoiding the blunders. But last night, a mistake I must have made, 'cause I lost a subscriber. I'm a failure to my trade. Where, oh where did my subscriber go? Why did he leave? I mean, it could have been a chick, but no. Why, oh why did my subscriber leave? Did I insult them? Did I make fun of something they believe? Are they angry? Are they hurt? Was there anything I could have done not to get burnt? When, oh when will my subscriber return? I can change, I can improve, I can even feel the burn. They're gone, they're never coming back. I need to move on, cut myself some slack. But every precious subscriber, even if I don't know your name, every precious subscriber, I love you all just the same. So I will always miss my unknown subscriber. They didn't leave a comment. What more could I have tried? Maybe I could have given them a briber. Or maybe they just died. Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night. This is Birdo Prey 5 saying Kapla. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. If you want to visit me, check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. And if you're really crazy, you can send me some money on PayPal. Take care. Howdy YouTube. This is here's your partner, Birdo Prey 5.